Welcome to the Magento Association channel on Talk Commerce. Are you a member of the Magento Association? If not, sign up today. For as little as $12 a year, that's $1 a month, you can be a member of the Magento Association. Even if you'd like to be a free member, go to magentoassociation.org and sign up today. My name is Brent Peterson, and I'm your host. Please remember to subscribe wherever you download your podcasts. And now, Talk Commerce. Welcome to this special episode of the Magento Association Talk Commerce collaboration to bring out more about the Magento Association and what we're doing to help the Magento community. Today I have Marta Molinska. Marta,
Hello.
Please introduce yourself. Tell us what you do on a day-to-day basis and one of your passions in life.
That's a very nice way of introducing myself when it comes to passion, because what I do on a daily basis is my passion. So I run a drop zone, so we are jumping out of planes. And my personal role on the drop zone is to teach people how to. And my side job is actually involved in Magento and Magento Association as well. I've been organizing Meet Magento Poland for 9 years straight, and now I'm more involved in Magento Association and in helping with communication, with some consulting, and I guess that I try to be a kind of, maybe not community manager, because it's, for me, the community is not something that you can manage. It's something that you can join and be part of it. And I guess that I want to be a part of it.
Thank you so much. So today we're going to talk a little bit about Ukraine and how people can help Ukraine, and maybe how both the Magento community and the Magento Association can participate in helping Ukraine. So
Sure.
Give us a little bit of background on what you've been doing so far.
It's already a few months since the war broke, but the first weeks were obviously the most intense. A couple of days after this shocking news when Russia attacked Ukraine, we in Poland, we were devastated, and as I said, we were just in shock. But after a few days, and when the migration crisis took place on the border, we saw horrible videos and pictures from the border. We could see that the huge crisis is coming. And I guess that the whole nation was thinking just the same, that I need to step in, I need to do something. And if people just opened their houses, they opened their homes, and they really welcomed total strangers. Of course, if someone that needs help, you're open to share some of your personal space. But I think that it never happened at this scale. It was hundreds of and thousands of people who welcomed Ukrainians in their homes. But I saw that it's not enough. And since I don't have much space in my house, but I do have a lot of spaces at the airfield, at my drop zone, especially in the winter time when we're not operating, we decided quickly to share every inch of space that we had, and we recreated every office and room that we had to the refugee center. And yes, as mentioned before, the first week were very busy. And we had hundreds of people, not at the same time though. We had a rotation, so families were coming in. They stayed for a few days or weeks, depending on what their next plan was. And then when they left, new families were coming in. Yeah, a rotation system. And then after each family left, one by one, we continued to help in their settling in process, like with finding a job or doing some paperwork with school or providing some basic supplies for the new start. You can just imagine people coming to Poland with all their belongings, not in the suitcase, not in even a backpack. It were just plastic bags, like from Walmart, and they were carrying it for 2,000 kilometers. It's, 3,000 miles. Yeah, that was something that was obviously the most intense time of my life, that's for sure, and the most rewarding as well. And from this point, I also wanted to thank a lot some Magento community members that stepped up really quick and helped me to continue the work, because on the very beginning, it was quite easy to gather funds for running the shelter. But since it's not my daily job to run this kind of places, I had no competences to do this and also not much resources. First of all, Karen Baker, she was the first to help me out with covering some basic costs that we had on the beginning. And also Hilva, especially Vinay and Willem, I was in touch with them from the very start. And 10% of their income for 2 months was dedicated to the shelter that I was running. And also a lot of other people who donated to my PayPal account. It really helped. It was not in vain. It never occurred to me that I had so many friends who wanted to help. I really appreciate it, and you can be really proud of yourself because you help a lot of people. We had 426 people in total at the shelter. And yeah, including 270 kids. So thank you very much.
Is the shelter still going, or
there was no need?
Are things okay? Yes. So things are starting to. I don't want to say normal, but
yeah, it is still far from normal. We didn't have to keep the shelter up and running after end of May. So we had it for 3 months. But I have to admit that it felt like it was 3 years. Really. But yeah, after 3 months, it was no longer needed because the waves of refugees started to fade out and people found their more permanent places to stay. So that was one reason. And second reason was that we needed to start our operations. So we needed the spaces for our usual business as well. But on the other hand, we still have a couple of processes that are open and they're constant. Together with my dad, I don't think that he's ever going to listen to this, but still, I'm really proud of him because he's keeping up an amazing work. For the past weeks, he was able to gather funds for 4 ambulances, and now he just got an amazing support again from Magento community, from Piotr and Tomek Karwatka. Many of you might know them from Divante company. They were really helpful and they were so kind to donate money for 2 ambulances, which are going to Ukraine in a couple of days.
I saw some stories about ambulances that were coming into Ukraine and then volunteers that were going to the front line to help evacuate people, especially older. I think a lot of elderly people that are stuck in that area are finding it very hard to leave or just even evacuate. Or at the time, especially, it was very difficult for them to move across that area.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I applaud you, and I thank you so much for all your hard work. That is so great.
It's something that we are neighbors. We can't really leave our brother nation when they're at war. We just need to step up and help.
That's good. Switching gears into the Magento Association, I think that as you've helped with the Ukrainian crisis, you've also always helped with Magento and Meet Magento and now Magento Association. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing for the Magento Association now?
Of course, I'm happy. We started our cooperation on the beginning of the year. It was short before the war started. So the beginning of the cooperation was a bit hectic. I shifted my focus on the shelter, but now we are obviously back on track. And I'm pretty much involved in events. I guess this is my domain. And I helped in organizing MA Connect this year and also in previous year as well. We had 2 editions and 1 edition in 2020 when the pandemic started and 1 in 2021 and 22 now. So yeah, I was pretty much involved in these. And I hope that we will be back within next months with some good news about new events coming.
I saw that Adobe is going to have their summit in Las Vegas in March of 2023, so hopefully we can come up with a Magento Association event that piggybacks on the Adobe Summit and have a little bit more Magento representation at the event.
I would love that.
Yeah, as I remember, too, there's a down payment at somewhere in Las Vegas still that they used. True. There was a 2020 event that was planned. I'm sitting on the Magento membership committee, and I am always looking for ways that we can entice people to join the Magento Association. I just interviewed Vijay Galani from India on some of his ideas on how we can get people to join. Do you have any thoughts on encouraging people to join the Magento Association and the reasons why they would?
Obviously, the first reason is to be more present in the community and to, for example, to be able to vote. When you have the voting, you can say that you have the real influence on what's going on within Magento Association. But obviously, there are also other ways. You only want to get involved in the Magento community. You can reach out to Magento Association, and there are a lot of committees that work on a regular basis. So it's very easy to join or to suggest some ideas. But you're asking how we could encourage people to join. I am a fan of asking the community directly what they want, because we can think that we know, but maybe we don't. Maybe we just assume something, and if we start with wrong assumptions, then we would go a wrong direction. So if we ask the community what the community really wants, then we can address the needs that really exist in there.
I think you've been involved in the Magento community for a long time. You've been involved in Meet Magento Poland in the past. What is it that drives you to want to be in the community and organize events and help? You've done so much for the community. What is it that lies within you that makes you want to do that?
I wish I knew. I don't know. I'm a very community person, and the same as in my skydiving community, we have a lot of connections, and this is something that I really like about the Magento ecosystem. It's not the only business. Like, there are a lot of different initiatives, different backgrounds, different companies. Everyone has the same goal. Obviously, we are in a business. It's our way to make a living, but still, it's something more than that. Maybe that's why I still stick with the Magento community, because it's still alive, it's still there. I know it sounds like a cliche, but still it's about the people. And I like so much being around Magento folks that I can't really describe this. And maybe that's why I stick to events, because where to meet Magento people? Just on the events. That's why we missed in-person events so much.
Yeah, I agree. There's some sort of magic there. I don't know. I've been involved in other communities, but it hasn't been as magical as this, and maybe there's definitely a people aspect to it. I enjoy going to Meet Magento Poland, Meet Magento Germany, Netherlands, all those different places, and traveling and meeting all those people. And it isn't the event so much, it is the people, and then when you start to get to know those people and enjoy their company and having some time with them, I think that's the important part. Do you think there's another community that can match the vibrance of the Magento community? Do you think it's unique in any way, or is there anything that's this magic elixir?
I don't know if there are any other communities which might be similar to Magento. It has an orange vibe, and I guess this is a really unique group of people coming in and coming out also, because it's a living organism. It's not like a solid rock. I guess that's exactly why it is unique. It shapes our reality from day one to now and to the future.
Yeah, I think part of the uniqueness too, it was born from the founders of Magento, Roy and Yoav, and then Bob Schwartz and even Mark Lavelle really embraced the community. I saw that when eBay when they were there was a kind of a drop-off, and then when Mark Lavelle started again, he really embraced it. And I think that's part of it, is that whatever the brand is that's around the community, if there is a brand, there has to be buy-in from all parties, I think, is part of it. And now I think Magento's finding its place in the world with MageOS and the Magento Association. I think it's starting to find its feet again.
I really hope that Magento Association is going to play a major role in shaping this Magento reality. And I know that it's not always been perceived as an important player, but now when the changes are being applied, the changes that are really going to reshape the association, and with the more open attitude towards the community, I really think that we are going to make some difference.
Yeah, I can say that from the membership side, from the event side, there's a lot of very exciting things happening, and I'm seeing a lot more transparency, especially from the Magento Association. So we're seeing more about what's happening internally, and we're seeing more news from each of the community meetings, and it's an exciting time, and I'm very excited for what you're doing in events. And you've joined our membership committee as well, and had some very good insight for us.
Thank you.
Marta, as we finish out, I give everybody an opportunity to do a shameless plug about anything you'd like to plug today. What would you like to plug?
I think we started with Ukraine, and to be honest, I would like to end the episode also with a personal request to each of you. If you can find a way to help Ukraine, and wanted to help on the very beginning and was eager to either send money or supplies or to help in any other way, like offering jobs and so on. But after some weeks, this general willingness to help faded a little bit, and the war didn't fade that much. It didn't fade at all, actually. So Ukraine still needs a lot of help. So each of us can really make a difference. I can say from my heart that every single act of kindness or any single act of help is changing someone's life. So I would really like to each of you to find a way to help Ukraine in any way you can. Thank you.
Yeah, it does. It starts with one person. Before this, I was talking to Dimitri from Swiss Up Labs, and he also had a very good recommendation for a paramedic service. We will put any recommendations in our show notes today and make those links available to everyone. Marta, what is your next event coming up? What is your next big thing you're going to be doing?
I hope it's going to be either MA Connect, so an online event, or maybe a Magento Association in-person event. We're still figuring out the details, but I really hope this is it.
Yeah, me too. Marta, it's been so great talking to you. Thank you for the time.
Thank you for
and
invitation.
Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
One of the coolest things about becoming a member of the Magento Association is that you can and will become an important philanthropist. Here's why. When you participate in the Magento Association, you can choose even a modest amount to contribute on a monthly basis. That contribution will continue seamlessly and hassle-free into the foreseeable future, and the modest amount grows and grows. Pretty soon, a few years have gone by, and those dollars are continuing to go to our community and the association, and without you even realizing it, your contribution now reaches into the hundreds. What that says about you is that you believe in the Magento Association and in our mission. It says that you're pledging your support for the future of this community, as much as you're celebrating its past and enjoying its present. Your single monthly amount, whatever it is, ends up really making a huge difference as you support what is important to you. Go to magentoassociation.org/join and join today. Thank you.